So I just finished chapter 1 and I'm immediately intrigued, to say the least. I love this idea of colour magic and breath and all the rest of it. Obviously I don't understand the full mechanics of it, but it's already sounding interesting. I'm loving this idea as well of Nightblood, the possibly talking sword. I mean, first of all, the name's awesome and all, so I'm really liking the idea of it being called Nightblood. It just sounds fun, quite frankly. Essentially, I'm 13 pages in, which is the prologue, and I'm here for it. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. Essentially, I feel like Brandon Sanderson's going to do it again. So, yeah, essentially, I'm here for this entirely. So far, I'm really loving like all the world building in this. I'm only 50 pages in, but I'm really liking all the descriptions of the different cities and how colours are all working into it, and how sort of series, sort of country, town, whatever you want to call it, works compared to the big cities and all the rest of it. And I'm really liking Siri as a character. I kind of want to go back to Vasha, I'm going to say his name is, I'm not entirely sure. Kind of want to go back to him. Alright, chapter 5 is about him, so that's good. But I'm quite interested to see how those two meet alongside what Viven is going to do along with Lightsong. So I'm all very interested to see how all of these characters are going to intertwine. So yeah, really enjoying the world building so far. Really enjoying all of this sort of character work and finding out exactly who everybody is and what's going on. I'm enjoying it so far. That's all I've got. I'm enjoying myself so far. Okay, so I'm now up to chapter 13, which is page 133, and I'm slightly confused. And I would say I don't think I'm going to enjoy this book as much as I enjoyed Mistborn, but quite frankly, Mistborn was obviously a 3-book series, and this is only a 1 standalone, so I can't really sort of compare the two. But I've got to admit, I'm still loving the fact that Brandon Sanderson doesn't like fall into like that sexist trope of like describing women like in their bodies, and I really like that about his writing, I've got to admit, because I mean he could have easily have done what most male fantasy writers do when Siri is with God King and sort of describe her boobs and all the rest of it, and he just doesn't do that. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy the fact that he just sort of skips over it at all, and it's just like, yeah, she's naked. And that's all you get. And I really like that, because I feel like anything else would have been really off-putting, and I really like that he's just gone, nah, she's just naked, that's all you know him. And I really like that. And I would say as well that I'm kind of shocked that this is definitely more on the more adult side of things in terms of age range, because of everything happening with Siri and the Gold King. So I'm quite enjoying that sort of idea, but it is taking a little bit of time to get used to, I will admit. Just had a thought, what if Vasha is the God King? I just thought, we haven't seen him in a while, but we've seen the God King recently, and now it's just popped into my head, and I'm pretty sure I'm wrong here, but for some reason I'm just wondering if the God King is living a double life, and it's actually also Vasha, because that would be one hell of a plot twist, even though I've just thought of it. I don't know, I'm just throwing theories out there now, because I haven't seen Vasha in a while and I want to see more Nightblood. So I didn't see the plot twist with the God King coming about his mouth or anything. I did not see that coming, and now I'm just wondering exactly who really is in charge. I'm thinking it may be Blushwater. I don't know why, but I'm thinking Blushwater may be more scheming than she appears. I'm also going to say that I was definitely wrong about Vasha being the God King. I thought it for a second, but if he doesn't have a tongue and he can't talk, it's definitely not Vasha, essentially. But I've also got to admit, this one is not grabbing me as much as Mistborn did, but I don't know if that's just because Mistborn was so good that I just can't get over it. I mean, it's still a very enjoyable book, and I'm still very much intrigued and still definitely want to finish it, but I would say it's not as grabbing me. But in saying that, I am only 249 pages in, and quite frankly, half the time Brandon Sanderson takes about 300 pages to get to, like, not the actual storyline, but when things start moving a bit quicker. So maybe as the story goes on a bit further, it may move a bit quicker and I may get more into it. But at the moment, I'm just a bit sort of like, this isn't as good as Mistborn at the moment, so hoping things start to go a little bit quicker soon. I've got to admit, I'm really enjoying finding out more about Lightsong as a character, and like him slowly sort of not remembering or discovering who he was before, but like little bits coming back to him, and I'm thinking he's now some sort of policeman, considering he's just referred to the murder as a case and he's trying to investigate it and stuff like that. But I don't know if there's any sort of police in this world, so I'm guessing the closest thing to a policeman, I guess you could call him in this, which is fun. I'm quite enjoying that like element of it, but I'm also quite enjoying like the Vivenna stuff as well, sort of like seeing her sort of not battling her beliefs, but sort of having her beliefs sort of thrown in her face a bit more and sort of really challenged in Halandron. I'm really enjoying that sort of push and pull with her religion and how she feels about things, and how like contrasted it is with Ciri, who is quite enjoying her time in Halandron and really enjoying the colour and the freedom of it, apart from being stuck in the palace. Meanwhile, Vivenna's really hating it, but is sort of slowly semi getting used to it and semi starting to not embrace it, but sort of semi enjoy it, I guess you could say. I'm liking all that sort of push and pull with it, I have to admit. I'm loving those kind of contrasts as well, and I'm quite interested to see just what the hell Vash is all about, quite frankly, because I've got no idea. I quite frankly want to go back to his point of view, because quite frankly I want to know more about Nightblood. I want to know more about Nightblood quite badly, and I want to know more about Vasher, because he's such a unknown mystery character in this, and he's like, who are you kind of thing compared to everybody else. So I am very interested to see just exactly what his whole deal is. I'm also sort of really enjoying this relationship between the God King and Ciri. I really like how it's building up, and it's got that kind of Beauty and the Beast element to it, which I am a sucker for anyway in any sort of ship. I feel like I'm starting to ship them in a way, because she's so protective of him and he really likes talking to her, and I really like that element of it. And I really like how now that Ciri's found out a bit more about the God Kings and how things work and everything from the storyteller, she's really upset at the idea of losing him despite only really knowing him a couple of months. I really like those elements, and I'm really liking how their relationship is starting to grow. I'm really enjoying that. I did not see the plot twist with Denth and Tongfar and like Jules and Claude coming. Didn't see that coming whatsoever. So does that mean Vasher's actually the good guy in all of this? Because I was starting to think he was the bad guy, but he may actually be the good guy. And now my mind is spinning like, who's good and who's bad at this point? Because clearly Blushweaver's on the side of the bad, whereas Lightsong's on the side of good, and then you've got Ciri and Vienna, who I think are on the side of good. Then you've got the God King, who's sort of manipulated into everything, so who knows what side he's really going to be on in the end. Oh, this is getting exciting now. Right, I'm on to the last 150 pages officially, and I'm doing that same thing I always do with Brandon Sanderson, and turning around and saying, how is he going to fix all of this in 150 pages? Because he does this every single time, and he manages it every single time. So I'm not going to start worrying that he's not going to fix it, because he always fixes it in in the last 150 pages. But I'm still sort of nervous that everything's going to go wrong. I'm sure everything's going to go wrong. I'm sure something's going to bite them in the arse. I'm sure there's going to be plot twists, and I'm sure there's going to be something to do with the God King, and something's going to happen to him, or he's going to betray them or something. I just have this feeling, but I really like him, so I'm a bit worried, especially if he dies. I really don't want him to die, so I don't know. I'm just very worried. I am very worried. I also have this kind of theory that Vasher's some sort of weird, super powerful being because of the sword and everything. I have a feeling he may be the dude who created the indestructible army of Lifeless, whose name I have completely forgotten, but I've just got this feeling that he may be that guy or something like that. I've got that theory in my head and it won't go away. I'm pretty sure it's wrong. I thought he was the God King and I was definitely wrong on that front, so I'm probably wrong again here, but for some reason I feel like he's going to be someone important who's been mentioned by other characters in a different way by a different name. I don't know, I've just got this feeling, but I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Finally gotten to Denth meeting Vasher again, and it's like, ooh, I can't wait to find out about their history and their past and everything. And of course the priests are pretending that Ciri is pregnant. Of course they are, and of course they've hidden her and the God King away from each other, and of course Dent is in there trying to stop it all as like a protector of Ciri or something. It's heating up now. I've literally only got, I'm on page, so yeah, I've got about 90 pages left, and I have no idea how the hell he's going to wrap this all up. I say this every time, but how is he going to wrap all of this up? I have no idea. Speaking of theories, I have a theory that Dent and Tonk Far are not exactly alive. I know that's going to sound weird, but whenever Vivenna was with them with all of her breath and all the rest of it, she couldn't sense when they walked up to her, and she can only usually do that with a drab. So I'm just wondering, is something up with them? Because I think they've got breath, I'm pretty sure they've got at least one. And then you've also got the fact that Claude seemingly recognised or had some level of emotion in his eyes. I'm just wondering, can Lifeless wake up and sort of become like the Returned in sense of being able to communicate and make their own decisions and stuff like that? So have Tonk Far and Dent done that and Claude hasn't, along with the rest of the Lifeless? I don't know, it's just theories. I'm probably entirely wrong. I'm usually wrong on these things, but thought I'd get it out there because it's going through my head and I'm just thinking that may be right. I'm probably wrong, but I may be right. Whoa. Pan Cow and Bluefingers? Didn't see that coming. Did not see that plot twist coming whatsoever. I'm kind of sad about Blushweaver though, I have to admit. I'm kind of sad about it, though at the same time I never really sort of warmed to her really, but I'm still sad that she's gone. And now I'm just like, there's like 50 pages left and a lorry reversing down my street, but yeah, that's a giant lorry. I've got like 50 pages left and I'm like, how are you gonna get out alive, meet up with your sister, save Vasha, save the God King, stop the war and everything else in 50 pages? How is this gonna work? I know this is a series, but this, like, there's not going to be another one in this series until the entire Stormlight archive has been released, if I remember rightly. So I'm like, how in the hell is Brandon Sanderson going to fix this in 50 pages? I'm excited to find out, but I'm just like, how are you going to do this? How? I was right. I was right about who Vasha was. I was right. I didn't see, though, that Khalid and also Peacekeeper were going to be the same person. I did not see that he was one of the original, like, scribe people. Didn't see that coming whatsoever. Oh my god, I've just finished it. My mind has been blown again by these books. I did not see any of those plot twists coming towards the end, apart from obviously who Vasha really was, but I really enjoyed the ending. I'm so sad about Lightsong though, because I really liked him, but I really liked his ending at the same time. I like how it's been kept open for like another one in the future. I like how it's all wrapped up really nicely. I love the statue thing, like the way that ran all the way through. I'm always completely and utterly in awe of Brandon Sanderson's way of adding little tiny hints the whole way through, and then the big reveal at the end for things, and you go, oh, and you sort of see all the way along he's been hinting at it. I love that from him. It was genius this time. I did not see it coming until they started talking about like the second army and stuff like this, the powerful army. I went, wait a minute, statues. So I did call that one as well, but I did not see Sue's Bron getting his voice back or anything. Absolutely amazing. I loved this. I absolutely loved it, and now I'm really excited for the second one, despite the fact that it's not coming out for several years now. I think I'm going to leave this vlog here because I think I'm just going to start rambling and gushing about how much I loved it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below with what you thought of Warbreaker when you read it for the first time. I'll also leave a link down below to all my social media if you want to check it out. If you want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time guys, bye!